So guys, the crypto markets are pumping quite significantly right now. We have positive news around Trump and China pretty much having eased intentions around the tariffs that are thrown on Chinese goods. We're also seeing some positive price action around Ethereum and some zones that we have seen previously in the past cycle. And everyone is pretty much running around wondering exactly if everything is about to start ripping up right now. I want to walk you guys through exactly the price action that we're currently seeing with Bitcoin dominance, USDT with Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as overall the news events that are having an effect on the markets. If you're new to my channel though, go and check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and exactly what you need to do to position yourself correctly. We've been waiting for this news, guys. The news around Trump and China, pretty much the ease with this trade war and the tariffs that have been going on. I told y'all the moment that we saw a little bit of, relief in that, we're going to see relief in the markets, and that is currently what we're seeing. The US markets are pretty much deviating, but everything is a chain reaction. It takes time, but I want to walk you guys through the perspectives in the market, what we're currently seeing, and what you need to be aware of. Let's jump into it. So guys, like how I said, the crypto markets are pumping quite significantly on the 24-hour right now. Bitcoin's currently sitting at around 93,000. Jumped up around 10,000, guys, in around 2 days. $10,000 in 2 days. That's freaking crazy. Ethereum is currently sitting at around 1749. After yesterday, we were talking around it sitting around that 1670 zone. Just jumped quite up. As you guys can see, altcoins, guys, have followed behind it, because whenever Ethereum starts to rip up, altcoins, guys, yes, they follow right behind it. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is kind of chopping sideways, just trading around the 64% zone, really just creating a new support and resistance layer. And overall right now, guys, everyone is just keeping up with the price action around Ethereum and the tensions in the market. But another chart, USDT, just to show you guys exactly how people are pulling out a lot of the money that they have in stable coins like USDT and allocating to altcoins and Bitcoin and multiple other assets. But what's causing all of the pumps in the market and everything that's happening? It is the ease in tariffs on China and the trade deal that is going to be happening between the US and China. Guys, this is what's been causing all of the fluctuations in the US markets, and overall has gold shooting up and bonds and all these other different things, which has a huge effect on risk assets like Ethereum and yes, your altcoins and my altcoins. But we're starting to see an aim for a trade deal, and this is super positive for investors and overall anyone that is in the markets. Overall, goes on to say, pretty much a sum up from Grok, U.S. Presidential Donald Trump has announced plans to significantly lower tariffs on Chinese goods, indicating a shift in the ongoing trade negotiations between the U.S. and China. This follows remarks by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who labeled the current tariff situation with China as unsustainable. Optimism about the deal's progression was also expressed by White House officials, mentioning that the U.S. is doing very well in negotiations. So guys, this is super positive. No, we do not have actual concrete evidence yet, but this is what's stirring all of the price action in the markets. People are talking about the ease that is going to be happening in the markets and how this is doing very well and how it's going to be having an effect on the markets and potentially how it could be looking in the next few weeks. On top of this, huge event that is having an effect on the markets, we also have Ethereum doing some crazy price action, hitting some zones that we have seen, support zones that we saw back in 2020, guys. And right now, a lot of people are anticipating the price action that we're currently seeing and wondering exactly if this is what's going to start overall and initiate altcoin season. Right now, there's a lot of different perspectives. A lot of people think we're going to be deviating a little bit lower before we shoot back up, but this is where you hopefully are allocated to the markets and have an understanding of how you want to position yourself and how you want to keep playing it. So if you guys aren't aware of all this information, make sure you guys stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe. I keep you guys updated with all this information and what you need to be aware of. But Crypto Mission now talks about the potential bullish divergence on Ethereum. He says, on lower time frames, reclaim within the range against Bitcoin on the day that gold provides a wick and seems likely to a peaked short term. As long as it holds the 1820 sats, I think we'll attack the 2000 sats in the coming days. And he's talking about the specific zone, guys, with this dotted line and this other zone that we are seeing as well. But overall, right now, guys, everyone's super bullish on the price action around Ethereum, but others have different perspectives on exactly what's happening, especially especially with the huge rip up that we saw with gold. But Crypto Mission now gives a great perspective on right now with all the mixed sentiment and news events and everything that's going on. How do you position yourself and what do you worry about? In times of uncertainty and a lot of noise, I'd rather focus on price and data for my decisions. Why? The noise is already reflected in the price and the price leads. The more noise there is, the simpler your strategy should be. Happily allocated risk on in altcoins. And yes, I'm also in altcoins. I'm completely fine with the deviations that we've been seeing because I understand that liquidity moves a specific way. Bitcoin dominance is going to top out at some point in 2025, more than likely, and then we're going to see altcoins get the liquidity that they need to start shifting up. But overall, guys, this is a great perspective, just understanding that with all the uncertainty and everything that goes on, the best thing to do is focus on the data, the price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, how the M2 money supply is going, how the news events are having an effect on the markets, and pretty much just focusing on how liquidity moves. This is a great post just to understand that, shuffle through the noise, understand what is important. Benjamin Cohen kind of sums this up. Pretty much he's been talking about the tariffs and how it's having an effect and Bitcoin dominance shooting through the roof. And one of the biggest things was the idea of firing, Powell. And overall, this is a big shift in tone. Trump said that he has no intention in firing Fed Chair Jay Powell. He repeated his call for lower interest rates. We think that it's perfect time to lower the rate and would like to see our chairman be early or on time as opposed to late. So overall, this kind of, cements the idea of not firing Jerome Powell. So at the end of the day, right now, this is also more positive, news around the U.S. markets, around the ease, intention, and exactly what's going on. But guys, altcoins right now are ripping up quite significantly. My crypto portfolio on the 24-hour is jumping up really nice. And if you're allocated to AI coins, meme coins, you're in these sectors, guys, you're making some decent money if you invested not too long ago. I understand that we're still down quite significantly, but right now for the 24-hour and the 7-day, these coins are starting to reclaim a lot of great zones, which is showing a lot of strong price action. But swapping everything to the side, guys, we have positive news from Trump and the ease in this tariff trade war that we're currently seeing between China and the US, which is super positive. We're also seeing price action around Ethereum come to support zones that we saw back in 2020, which is causing a lot of people to think that we're bottoming out and we're about to start shifting up quite significantly. But overall, you need to keep up with the day-to-day and the price action and how everything changes. We could have some bad news come out tomorrow and it just changes the price action, but more than likely, based off of how everything's going, it looks like that we're moving in a right direction. But this is where you need to start keeping up with all the information and have a correlation in between not only the US markets, the crypto markets, but also the news events, and just understand how it has an effect on your bag and overall the markets in general. But if you guys are new to the channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, why the markets pump, why they dump, and exactly how you can position yourself to make those crazy gains. Right now, guys, I hope that you've already allocated to altcoins when everything was deviated quite low. And right now, even though everything in the markets is pumping quite significantly, we are still at crazy discounts. But this is where you need to start determining your risk tolerance, where you want to allocate your money, and exactly what you could be, expecting in the next few days, next few weeks. But keeping up the price action is super key. The news events and everything else in between, and I share all that on this channel. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my perspective. Let me know what you guys think of my content, where you guys are at on your journey, what altcoins are you currently buying, and also if you guys have any questions or suggestions. But overall, I really do appreciate all the support you guys show me on this YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep dropping day-to-day content, guys, once I go full-time into this, because I'm day trading, doing all this different stuff. But overall, guys, let me know anything you guys want to see here or anything that you have to say. I'll catch you guys in the next one, though. Drop day-to-day content. So catch you tomorrow. Peace.